Today we'll be covering the new Rebirth cutscene and actually a new code that is in the game. As we could see, it was like a really small update. It was like a tiny update, and there's a new Rebirth cutscene and actually more music, and there's a new code. So it's a really small update. Probably the biggest thing is actually the Rebirth cutscene, which I'll show in a different video because this video might be too long. I don't know how long the cutscene is, but I've heard that it is like very long, so I'll just put it in a separate video. And they've said that they're gonna launch private server saving in the next update, which is exciting because we can just build whatever we want and then save it, and then we don't lose all the resources, so that is really great. So if we go to our inventory, then we go to cosmetics, we can enter a code, and the code is Antlers of Doom, and there's no capitals at all. And then once we use the code, we get these black antlers, which actually look really, really good. And let's claim it, and let's try them on. This actually looks really good with the wolf mask, but it's like the two different animals, a deer and a wolf, but it looks like it just hugs the ears, which actually looks really cool. It looks really good on its own. It's not the best, but I think putting on this looks a little bit better. Hold on, let me remove my hair. There we go. Yeah, using the wolf with the antlers actually looks really good, like really, really good, because it kind of hugs the ears a bit, which looks really cool. And I was just looking at the rebirth shop, and there's no extra rebirths. So this is like probably one of the most smallest updates that they've ever done, because all they did was add a rebirth cutscene, and that was basically it. You know what? I'll show the cutscene for you guys. So I actually do have a rebirth ready, and 3, 2, and 1. Oh, that looks pretty good. Oh, okay.
Oh, well then. You've made it quite far into my game, haven't you? Huh. I guess I should tell you something important then, shouldn't I? But what would you say if you could speak to millions of people over the internet? I suppose I'd tell you the story of an old friend of mine that they once told me. His grandfather, he was a pilot in World War II and flew bombing runs over Europe. On one run, his plane was hit with deadly anti-aircraft fire, but by some miracle, they survived. They had no idea how on earth they were still alive until they examined their plane and found the anti-aircraft shells in the fuselage had no explosive charges in them. In one of the shells, they found a single hand-scribbled note written in Czech, written by the person who had been forced to manufacture the shells. It simply read, "This is all we can do for you now." Some random unknown worker, beat down by a brutal authoritarian government and forced to work under a terrible evil, decided to do something. They removed the explosive charges from every single anti-aircraft shell they were working on and wrote a note they must have known would probably never be read, just to say, "This is all we can do for you now, and we're going to do it. They're trying to make us kill you, and we refuse." In a world filled with hatred, anger, pain, and selfishness, the single most revolutionary thing you can do is this simple act of kindness. Anyone who's watched a time travel movie knows that if you go back in time and change something very small, it will radically change the future. But barely anyone in the present really realizes that they will radically change the future by doing something small now. Every action you take is going to change the world dramatically, and it will affect the lives of thousands of people. Every action you take affects someone, and they then affect someone else because of that, and they affect someone else, and then someone else, and so on. Though you'll probably never get to see even a tiny fraction of it all, and the change you've enacted. And in a whole lifetime of those actions, well, now you've changed the world in a very significant way, and changed the lives of millions in some way or another. You do not get to choose if you are going to change the world or not. You already have. You're going to keep changing it for the rest of your life. The choice you get to make is how. Will your small acts of kindness forever make the world a better place? Or will your small acts of hate forever make it worse? It excites me to think of all the incredible things you could do to make the world a more wonderful place. Perhaps, someday, dear player, you can find me and tell me about all the wonderful things you have done and how you've changed the world. I'd like to hear of it all someday. And perhaps, if you ever need a helping hand, reach out. Maybe we can change the world together. But until then, dear friend, I'm glad you could stop by and enjoy my game. Be kind, and good luck.
And that was it. That was the cutscene. It was like around 4 minutes long, I think. That was a pretty good cutscene if you ask me, and I think that is Undun's real voice, I'm pretty sure, and he did an amazing job, especially with all the like animations. I don't know if it's animated. I think it was animated a bit because like the moving screen, but I don't know if it's really animation. I know that the plane was moving through the sky. That's all I know because if you look at the background, it moves a little bit. But yeah, that was a cool and amazing cutscene. If you did enjoy the video and the cutscene, make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below if you enjoyed the cutscene because the cutscene was perfect. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.